There are huge opportunities to show the love of Christ in ministry to internationals. Firstly, because there are really obvious felt needs, namely language and community. Language might be the one we think of first, but perhaps the hunger for community is sometimes even greater among our international neighbours. Moving to a new country can obviously be incredibly isolating for anyone. This is especially the case when a family has been uprooted away from a culture where, for example, raising children or making big decisions was done in community with others. The need for language and friendship explains why things such as language schools, international cafes, homework clubs, or conversation clubs have often worked really well to build bridges and trust. They have the potential to meet both needs and can be a great way of practically expressing the love of Christ. Initially with these things, people are usually motivated by a desire for language. Later on, it is sometimes the friendships and acceptance they find there that keep them coming. A second reason for opportunities is openness. There does often seem to be a degree of humility to learn about religion and culture here among internationals. This is partly because we're almost given permission to consider other beliefs once we're outside our native culture or society. Also, anyone who's lived abroad will know just how vulnerable you can feel. You're therefore much more likely to notice even small acts of kindness and want to find out what drives someone to show love to a stranger. This can sometimes mean that it is quite natural to share about the Lord or that questions about faith arise. An example of this in our experience has been the first day that people come to our church premises to register for language classes. It's not unusual for them to ask about the church or what we believe, and then perhaps share what they believe. Several people have also shared about some of their struggles in life at this point. Into this, we have an amazing message of hope to share. There may, of course, be preconceptions about Christianity. One example of this is the belief that Western culture is synonymous with true Christianity, but we have the opportunity to gently challenge that. It doesn't take much to show that there is fake and genuine Christianity. People from any culture can usually relate to the possibility of beliefs being distorted because they've seen different versions of their own religion. And of course, more than just talking about it, we have the opportunity to show that walking with Jesus really does make a difference in life. A third opportunity is for our churches themselves. They have the prospect of being enriched by international believers. It's all too easy to proudly think about what we can offer people from other nations and forget that they have so much to offer us. For example, I have loved learning from the relaxed and informal way some of my international friends do hospitality, or from the way some nationalities are generally more exuberant in their worship of God. Of course, having many cultures represented in one church means that there's greater potential for conflict and misunderstanding. But even this can be good for us as we learn to love each other deeply in Christ despite our differences. It can also help us acknowledge that the way we've always done things isn't the only right way to do things. In addition, sometimes rubbing alongside other cultures highlights sinful traits in our own culture, which need the transforming work of God. For example, we British aren't known for being the warmest of people, and surely this is an area where as Christians we need to strive to be countercultural. What an opportunity this is to showcase the gospel. Who apart from Jesus can truly unite such different people? Pursuing international diversity in our churches is a chance for us as believers to see the power of God at work in us, but also for unbelievers as they see that our God is a God who is able, as it says in Galatians 3, to make us all one in Christ Jesus.